Do you see any negative aspects of, you say control? I wrote down overparenting, just as another word. Do you see that causing like lack of self-confidence within teenagers in that whole inner working?
Absolutely, in some ways. Because if you think, let's take a real life example. Let's say a child has a math class and they got a big test coming up on Friday and they've struggled in the class. The parent that's controlling that situation gets in there and they lay out the study schedule, they schedule a tutor, they call the teacher, and they manage everything, right? And in an effort, in which you think about it, they're trying to help, which makes sense. But at the same time, what they're doing, the underlying message that they're sending to the child is the child can't do it on their own. And that's where you're speaking about self-confidence. It's this underlying message that, ooh, mom and dad don't trust me to be able to handle this on my own. Whereas if you take more of an empowerment approach, you go to the child and say, okay, what is your study plan for the week? You ask the question and let them come up with the plan, right? Then you ask additional questions. What's worked well for you in the past? Where could you get additional resources? You kind of guide them, but the point is that it's up to them to sort it all out. And that's what I mean by allowing them to manage it themselves, but you're there to coach and to ask those empowering questions to allow them to develop their own plan. And then the hard part is, let's say you ask the child, what's your study plan for the week? And they give you something. And as a parent, you look at it and you say, you know what, this is not going to work. Right? You kind of know that in your head that this is not going to work. Well, the hard part as a parent sometimes is you got to let them fail every once in a while and let them try that. And that's where I'm saying, if you look at the circumstance from the standpoint, okay, how does this help the child to build character, if you will, and build the ability to be thoughtful and resourceful? And so sometimes you got to go through that difficult time. And let's say they go through, they use their study plan, and then they don't do very well on the test. Then when you circle back the next week, okay, what happened? What went wrong? What could you do different next time? You start asking those questions because part of what you're teaching them is how to think through the process, right? And if you do it for them, they don't have the opportunity to do that. But a lot of times we want to jump in, and I have something I share with parents. It's 10 things you need to stop doing, and then what you can do instead. And one of those things is fixing all of their problems. Stop fixing their problems and allow them to, support them, give the problem back to them, and let them try to work through and come up with a solution.